To work this stitch, you're going to need to start with a foundation row of single crochets in an even number. Then you're going to build 2 more rows of single crochets. So at this point, I have 3 rows of single crochets. For the next row, you're going to begin with a chain 1. You're going to skip your first stitch, and you're going to, in the next stitch, you're going to work a long spike stitch. For the long spike stitch, you're going to identify that next stitch, and then you're going to go down 3 rows. So here's your first row, the second row, and then the third row. Again, you're going to skip the first stitch, and in the second stitch, you're going to work a long spike. So go down 1, 2, 3. Work these spike stitches loose, pull up the yarn, complete that spike stitch, and then single crochet in the next stitch, and then a long spike in the next stitch. So again, identify that next stitch and drop down 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. Long spike stitch. Make sure you pull that up to the height, complete the stitch, and then single crochet in the next stitch. You're going to work this all the way around. Long spike, identify the stitch, and then go down 1, 2, 3 rows, pull up to the height, and then single crochet in the next stitch. We're going to work this all the way around to the beginning here. Okay, I've completed row 4 with a long spike stitch. To join the rows, I'm going to work 1 more single crochet because we started off with a skip. So we need to work 1 more single crochet to get the same stitch count. This right here is the slip stitch that joined row 3 together. If you pull this apart, you can see this is the stitch right here that I joined in that slip stitch in. You're going to go right back into that stitch and work your single crochet. And then you're going to join in top of that first long spike stitch to complete the row. If you look at the spike stitches, they create these small V's, and it has 2 vertical bars. We're going to chain 1 and turn to begin row 5. And on the back, again, there's these V's that have the 2 vertical bars. That's what we're going to work in for row 5. For row 5, we have turned our work, and on the back side you can see the V's from the long spike stitch. There's 2 vertical bars in this spike stitch. You're going to begin with a chain 1. You're going to drop back and grab the vertical bar of the V behind your turning chain. So your turning chain is right here. You're going to grab this V, just that vertical bar of it, and then go over and grab the first vertical bar of the next long stitch, and you're going to pull up a loop. You're basically going to work a single crochet around that. So there's your first single crochet. Then you're going to single crochet on top of that stitch right there. Now you're going to go into that vertical bar, grab the vertical bar of the next long stitch, just the first one, and complete a single crochet, and then single crochet on top of the next stitch. Grab the next side of the the vertical bar of the long spike stitch, and the next one, yarn over and single crochet, and then single crochet in the top of the next stitch, and then single crochet around those vertical bars. Complete this all the way around and join in the top with a slip stitch. So we've completed row 5, and we've joined with a slip stitch, and we're going to turn to begin row 6. Start with a chain 1. You're going to single crochet in the first stitch right here, And then we're going to begin with another long spike stitch, working 3 rows below. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then our 3rd row below. So insert your hook, loosely work that spike stitch, pulling it up to the same height. It's very important you work these stitches loose. And if you turn your work over, you should see that you have pulled that spike stitch, sorry, right in the center of this V from the prior row. So double check those as you work. And then same as the row 3, we're going to, same as row 4, we're going to single crochet in the next stitch, and then a long spike, which is 3 rows below, in the next stitch. So here's row 1, row 2, and then row 3 is at the base of that. Insert your hook, pull up a long spike stitch, double check to make sure you came through the center of that V on the back side. Turn your work back over, single crochet in the next stitch, long spike stitch. So there's row 1, 2, 3. Insert your hook, pull up your stitch, double check your placement, and then single crochet into the next stitch. And repeat this all the way around, joining with a slip stitch in the top of your beginning single crochet. So row 6 has been completed. As you can see, the spike stitches are all in here. They're just a little bit all off, a little bit of each other. I've joined with a slip stitch at the top. So now it's time to begin our repeats of rows 5 and 6. At this point, before you begin, it's a good idea to double check these long spike stitches and make sure that they are at the point of these upside down V's that were created in a couple rows back. So just make sure that those are all nestled in there. If you find one that is off, like off to the side or something, it is worth going back and redoing. So for the next row, you're going to again repeat. So just begin with your chain 1 and then work those single crochets going through these vertical bars of your long stitches. Your chain's going to be in the center. Go back to the prior long spike stitch and grab that vertical bar, and then the next long spike stitch and grab the first vertical bar and complete that single crochet, and then single crochet in the next stitch, and then grab the next vertical bars, complete the single crochet, and then single crochet in the next stitch, and continue this around. And then the next row, you'll work another row of long spike stitches.